I close my eyes.
Yes, guys. Welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. First, I just want to pay my respects to the people in Turkey and Syria right now that are going through this awful tragedy that has happened over there. Thousands of people have lost their lives. So, just like to pay my respects to them people over there, the families, the people they've lost, and everyone. I think it's very important that we all do this sort of thing. And sometimes life is more important than football, guys. So yeah, much love to the people in Turkey and the people in Syria that are going through this right now. And yeah, it's horrible thing. Human life is so important, guys. Treasure it. Treasure the people that you love, and yeah, you never know when it happens to you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, my wishes to all the people in Turkey and Syria right now. Big up to you guys. Much love. Guys, welcome into the show. Hope everyone's doing well. Enjoying your day so far, guys. Hope everything's good with everybody in the house. How are we all doing? Big up to everyone. Captain Sal in the house, Ant in the house, Scientist in the house, Simba in the house, Tran in the house, Singing the Cop, MP, Jen, Eunice. Hope we're all doing well. Big up to everyone, Frank, everyone, Ryan. Big up to everyone in the house. Hope you're all doing good. Hope we're all doing good. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys, straight away. We've got 50 people in here already. Go and press that fun button. Let's get up to 50 likes straight away, guys. We should be exactly on 50 likes with 50 people in the house already. So please go and hit that fun button. Big up 6 times. Big up Adam. Big up Lee. Big up Indian Scouser in the house. How you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing well. But yeah, 55 people in the house now. Press that fun button, guys. Let's get them lights up to 50 straight away. Big up to everyone. Hope you're all doing well. So, this video is going to be about trying to rebuild Liverpool Football Club. Because let's get this right, guys. This club needs a massive rebuild. This club needs a huge rebuild. It is in a massive state right now. From top to bottom. Obviously, you got the Man City stuff. I've been speaking about the Man City stuff in the last couple of videos. So if you guys want to listen to that, we spoke about that in the last couple of videos. That with the Man City stuff, it is the way it is. If they fall, they fall. Will they get away with it? Probably, because they're so rich. So who knows, guys? Who knows? I just know that I can't talk about it so much now. I had a message last night from someone quite high up, saying that I can't talk about the Man City stuff. So, yeah, someone messaged me like last night that's quite high up in the has a lot of influence, and they told me I can't talk about the Man City stuff no more. So, yeah, I won't be talking about the Man City stuff no more till I find out more information. Yeah, I got warned off. But yeah, let's talk about Liverpool. This is our club. This is a Liverpool channel. Let's talk about Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool Football Club in absolute mess at this moment in time as a club, from the management to the ownership to the coaching staff to even the fitness side of the team, the medical staff. Everything is in a disarray. We need to rebuild Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, we need to get this going again. We can't. We can't. No. No. He's a media personality. He's a media personality. Nothing to do with YouTube. He was Jamie's wife. No, she don't care. But no. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely something. What? Big up Michael. Big up Jane watching from the hospital. Mum's had to be taken in for blood transfusion. Michael, I hope she's okay, my man. Michael, keep me informed, my man. Keep me informed, yeah. I hope everything's okay, my friend. I hope everything's okay. Yeah, got to spend the rebuild that we do. We have to spend. We could also look. We all know how FSG work, guys. Yeah, buy to sell to buy. We're gonna go through players. We're gonna go through players and see what players at this football club we can just get rid of. How much we can make from them. Wages that would come off the wage bill as well that could be used into transfers at the same time. We need to rebuild this football club. We can't just keep going as we are right now. On the takeover stuff. So I know a lot of people saw the news last night about Man United getting taken over by a Qatari group. It is not the same group that Liverpool that are interested in Liverpool. It's a completely different group in Qatar. I think everyone just assumes that because Qatar are a state nation, it's just the state of Qatar buying football clubs up. It's not. It's companies within Qatar, and it's not the same company from Qatar that is looking to take over Man United. They have not just given up on Liverpool and gone to Man United. It's a totally different organisation in Qatar. So yeah, let them do what they want, man. Let them do what they want. They can get Qatar ownership. Liverpool can get Qatar ownership. Liverpool and Man United can both be owned by Qatari ownership this time next season. Very possible. It's very, very possible. You know, yeah, I think people see the Qatar like last night. I know the I can't remember the journalist's name now, but I think he writes for the Daily Mail, and he put it out there that a Qatari consortium are looking to buy Man United. And they're going to pump in so much money for Ten Hag for transfers and stuff like that. And I think Liverpool fans got, what the hell? How have we lost? But it's a different group. It's a different organisation in Qatar that that want to take over Liverpool and take over Man United. So, in all possibility, two Qatari groups could own Man United and Liverpool by this time next season. It could just be the way it is. It could just be the way it is. So don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it so far. There's more than one Qatari group that are like multi-billionaires. Don't worry. It's different with obviously with PSG. I think they're owned more by the state. With PSG, I think PSG owned more by the state. But there's different consortiums and groups in Qatar that want to take over Man United and Liverpool. In fact, I can get it up for you now. So QIA are currently in talks with Liverpool. There are different investors to the Qatar investors who are bidding for Man United. That comes from Alex Miller. And Alex Miller has been across this whole takeover stuff for quite some time now. He's been talking about the Man United takeover, the Liverpool takeover. They're two different groups in Qatar. You know, they can both Liverpool and Man United can both be owned by two totally different Qatari groups. So I won't worry, guys. It's QIA who are currently in talks with Liverpool about a takeover. They're not in talks with Man United. It's a totally different group. Totally different group. Why is it taking so long? I don't know. The thing with Liverpool, we never get told anything, do we? You know, everything's done quite secret, and then all of a sudden you hear something one day, and it's all like, "Oh yeah, Liverpool been taken over. It's all been done." You know, it just come out in the news. Man United like to publicise a lot of things more, but you got to remember with Man United are on the stock exchange. I do believe Man United on the New York Stock Exchange. So any takeover talks with Man United will be publicised a lot more than it would be Liverpool, because Liverpool are not on the stock exchange. Because Man United are on the stock exchange, they got to go through different investors and things like that, and it'll be you'll see more of it in the media than you would if it was a Liverpool one. But yeah, that's all I know of it so far. Any other news I get, I'll bring to you guys. But this is all I'm reading. You know, I'm not on the inside with inside knowledge or anything. I've just done my research in it and read up some things. So I just think people get a bit. I can understand it as well. Us Liverpool fans are a bit on edge at the moment, and rightly so. We are. And when you hear a Qatari group is going to buy Man United, and it's quite close, and they're going to get a massive war chest of money, and they don't care about the debt or building a new stadium or any of that, and you're like, Jesus Christ, how have we lost that again? This is just Liverpool luck. You know, we lose that again, and Man United are going to be in front of us again. It's not the case. You know, two different groups. The state-owned PSG, another group wants to buy Man United out of Qatar, and the QIA in Qatar, and another consortium that's worth a lot of money, want to buy Liverpool. So Qatar could have three. The nation of Qatar could hold three of the biggest clubs in world football. You know, PSG, Man United, and Liverpool. It's absolutely mad. But there's enough money to go around. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll have to pass any test. Yeah, man, I've got the beanie on today. It's freezing. Woke up the day and there's bloody frost on the field. It is cold. Yeah, so that's all I know. No worries, guys. No worries. Yeah, QI. Yeah, they own Harrods. That is exactly right. Obviously it was. I can't remember his name now. Fired, wasn't it? Was it Saint Firehead who used to own Fulham? He owned Harrods. He's Egyptian, I believe, ain't he? And then he sold it to the Qatari group. The Qatari group own a lot of big things in London, by the way. He isn't just Harrods. They own quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah, Saudis have deep pockets as well. Yeah, Liverpool will be sold. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. The Liverpool stuff. Yeah, that's it. Mohamed Al-Fayed. The Liverpool stuff is going to be done in more secret, guys. It's just the way we are. It's the way we operate. Remember, transfers, you never hear about players coming through, and everything's done in quite hushed tones in Liverpool, where Man United, they are on the New York Stock Exchange. So you will see more things in the media about the Man United takeover and the speed in which it's being done at. But yeah, I mean, look, John W. Henry, look, let's talk about it. So there's infighting in FSG right now. There is infighting in the corporation of FSG right now. And the reason is there's mixed news coming out of it. So you got Tom Werner and obviously John W. Henry. They're the two main people of FSG. I think John W. Henry is the main chairman, the main owner, the main CEO of FSG. And I think like Tom Werner is like his right-hand man. He's second in charge, yeah. They're the two geezers really that run that organisation, that company. And they're at a bit of a standoff at the moment as well. Because one wants to sell Liverpool and sell Liverpool quite quickly, and doesn't want this to hang around for too long. And the other is not too sure about selling Liverpool. So there's been two articles about this. One article is that John W. Henry wants to sell the football club. He wants Liverpool sold, and he wants to sell quite quickly. But Tom Werner is the one who's holding it up. He's thinking about not selling. He wants to keep the club because Liverpool makes so much money. And the other article is the other way around, that it's Tom Werner who wants to sell and John W. Henry wants to keep the club. I'm more entitled to believe that one, that Tom Werner wants the club sold and John W. Henry wants to keep the club. I think John W. Henry wants to keep quite a bit of stake into Liverpool Football Club. You got to remember, when Liverpool gets sold, it's not just FSG that own a stake. There's quite a few business people that own a stake of Liverpool Football Club. I think Redbird own 11% of Liverpool. Obviously, you got LeBron James who's got a percentage in Liverpool. You got FSG themselves who've got the majority share of Liverpool, and then there's other businesses and people that have tiny little stakes in the football club that would have to be bought up and paid for as well. So yeah, John W. Henry, by the look of it, is trying to keep the majority share of Liverpool Football Club, but he's willing to have investors come into the football club with very deep pockets. But he wants to commit. He wants to commit a majority share. Now, the last I read about this is that John W. Henry wants to keep 66% of Liverpool, and everything else gets sold up. So that's Redbird selling up their percentage, LeBron James selling up their percentage. So they all lose their percentage of the football club. John W. Henry and FSG keep 66% of the football club, and is it like 44% gets sold up to investors who will come into the club and invest heavily with deep pockets. That's what John W. Henry wants. That is what last I have been reading. Tom Werner, he just wants to leave. He wants FSG to sell up. Tom Werner just wants a quick sale. He doesn't think we should be hanging around with this sale and just get the club sold up and done. What I'm hearing is there's been a lot of bids for Liverpool. There's been a lot of bids for Liverpool. There's been 12 bids for Liverpool so far, but no one has matched the price that FSG have set of $4.5 billion US dollar. Yeah, they've been paying off debts of the club. So any loans and that FSG have had on the club, they've been paying back them debts. That is why there was no money for the transfer kitty in January, because they were paying off their debts for the football club. So they can get 100% sale. They want 100% cash profit. They will sell the football club. Everything they're doing right now behind the scenes, they are getting ready to sell the football club, but they are dragging their heels so far. As I said, there has been 12 bids. There has been 12 bids for the football club, but none of them have come to their match so far. QIA, who are the main group in Qatar that are bidding for Liverpool, have bid for Liverpool Football Club. They have put in a bid in. I believe it was around $3 billion US dollar, but it didn't match FSG's what they valued the football club at. Now, John W. Henry is willing to let Liverpool completely go if he gets the money he wants. If he gets $4 billion, I think if he gets $4 billion for for Liverpool Football Club, I think he completely sells. But if he don't get that $4 billion, I just don't know if he sells. Then he's going to be looking for investors to keep hold of some of Liverpool Football Club. It's because, look, I don't blame him in a way. You got to excuse me, guys. I've got a bit of a cold, so I might be coughing a little bit. I do apologise. If you've got a company that I think Forbes magazine ranked Liverpool as a football club around the $4.5 billion sort of thing. So about what? About £3.5 million. Yeah, that's what Liverpool are valued at, right? As a company, as a team, right? That's what Forbes magazine rates them at. The owners are going to want at least that payment to sell the football club. Also, you'd be like, do I want to sell 100% of a football club that is worth 4 billion US? Yeah. Am I going to want to sell a football club that's worth 4 billion US and makes a lot of commercial revenue each year? You know, I'm going to make money. Why would I want to sell the whole thing? I could sell 40% of it. I could sell 40% of it and keep 60% of this club, but sell 40% of it, make a lot of money through the sale, get an investor in that pumps money into the football club, and then I'll take the profits. I mean, it's horrible to say, but unfortunately, that's what these sort of people do. But I think he just needs to go. I don't think that's going to be sustainable for the football club. I don't think the fan base will stick by it eventually. I think the fan base are slowly turning on FSG now. Look, with FSG, we are, I was never an FSG out guy. I am now. I want FSG to go because they can't afford to invest into this squad. This squad is falling behind, and it's down to mostly FSG, right? So they need to go. I've got no problems with that. Get the right people in, sell the club. I don't care who the club gets sold to, by the way. I am not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. I do not care who I can't be that guy that, yeah, I'm a caring individual and I do care about human life and stuff like that and things like that, but I can't be a hypocrite at the same time. I can't go, right, we sell to a group that have got, human rights interests are a little dodgy in that part of the world. But then I live in London right now, guys. I live in London. I don't know if any other people live in London in the chat, but I live in London where London is chaos. London is chaos. You walk down the street and just get stabbed now, and no one cares. Like, no one cares. It's horrible. I live in an area where I live where some people can't afford to eat and have to go to food banks, and this government don't look after them. So I can't be that kind of geezer who says, right, I don't want them because of what they do behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So I just like people who just, just come in and help the club. If you're investing in the club legally, if someone comes in and invests in the club legally, sports washing, I know that's a big thing right now. It's like a big word, sports washing now. It's what everyone seems to use for anyone who's got money. In a way, everyone sports washes in a little way. Everyone protects their interest. Everyone protects the club. I mean, look, you could argue that the Super League was sports washing. All the people that wanted to join the Super League. You can argue every member, every team that wanted to join the Super League is really sports washing because it ruins the whole thing of football for everyone else. So, looking into it more and more and more, I think the sports washing stuff is a bit of not a myth because it happens, but I think it happens with everyone who wants to protect their own interests and protect their own financial being. So, do FSG sports wash? Not as much as I know, but I'm sure they've done things in the past that protect their own money and to make themselves richer in some kind of way. Do the Premier League sport wash? Maybe. Look how much it's worth. All the big clubs, all the big six, they pulled away from the Premier League tomorrow, started their own league, started a Super League instead of UEFA, getting all that money in, call it sports washing in a way. So yeah, I don't want to get political on this, but it does do me head in where I see people online, especially on Twitter, it says that I won't be able to support Liverpool anymore if we get a Saudi or Qatari owned football club. Now, I understand where they're coming from in a point that they're decent human beings, and they're probably like, you know, I can't abide by someone who doesn't agree with homosexuality, finds it is it illegal in them countries to be homosexual, or the uh, LGBTQ community and all that sort of stuff is looked at, frowned upon, the way they treat women, like people and that. And look, I get it. I honestly get it. I understand it, but I can't be saying that when I live in the UK right now, and people can't afford to live. And I'm living in a country where the government in this country couldn't care less for the working class man or woman, and wouldn't care if they starved to death. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. They don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. As long as their rich mates are good, as long as their rich mates are good, then yeah, no worries. And like Eunice says there, homosexuality is frowned upon in some parts of the United States as well. And we got United States ownerships. So it it's it's mad. And as I keep saying, if they don't like corruption in sport, and people say I can no longer, they don't like it, then the problem is you got UEFA very corrupt, FIFA very corrupt, but we all enjoy playing in their competitions. World Cup for FIFA, Champions League for UEFA, European Cup for UEFA. As I said, World Cup for FIFA. We all enjoy being in their competition, and taking their money. So we're all right doing that. I just find it a bit. Where do we sit? Where do we sit on it? You know what I mean? It's a difficult one, and I'm not going to tell people if they feel that way. I'm not going to tell people they're right or wrong. It's their choice. They're a human being. If someone feels that way and they can't carry on with it, I'm all for it. If you can't carry on with it and you don't think it's for you, I ain't got a problem. I ain't going to tell you you're wrong or you're right or anything. It's your choice. All I would say to people is that if you are upset that Liverpool might get taken over by Qatari ownership, yeah, and and you're upset with the way that human rights are there and stuff like that, and you don't think you could follow a football club that are owned by that, and that, I'm not going to say you're right or wrong. That is your own choice. My only thing I would say is don't tell everyone else that they're like, no one come to me and go, oh, you're scum, Jamie, because you're following that now. They've been taken over, because I'm not having to go at you for having your choice. Do you know what I mean? If your choice is to not do it anymore, I respect your choice as a human being, and you're a good person, and you don't feel like you can do that humanly, then perfectly fine with it. But then don't go and tell other people that they're wrong for liking or wanting that kind of ownership, because that's like very hypocritical. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I'm going to say in that. That's all I'm going to say in that. But look, Liverpool are going to get taken over eventually, guys. Don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about the Man United stuff, guys. Don't get upset about. Don't get upset about the Man United takeover, guys. If they get taken over, they get taken over. Liverpool will probably get taken over as well, and we could both be owned by a Qatari group. So I wouldn't worry about it, guys. I wouldn't worry about it. We could both get taken over by Qatari groups. Man United have got one. We got one. So we go at each other. We're both in the transfer market, spending. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Big up, Dandy. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I don't want to get any more political. I just wanted to put my views out there for people, guys. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from, guys. I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and as I say, I welcome anyone to take over our football club right now and invest into this football club. I really do. As long as you do it legally, as long as you pay, as long as when you spend the money, you do it in a legal manner. You do it in a legal manner. I don't care what you do, as long as you invest into the football club legally. With Man City at the moment, allegedly, they're not spending their money, they're not using their money legally, right? And that's the issue. As long as the people that come into Liverpool spend their money legally on the football pitch, then I haven't got a problem. I haven't got a problem. Yeah, Henry funded Trump, and we have AXA and Standard Chartered as sponsors. Yeah, I mean, anyone who wears Nike trainers or shit like that, do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah. Yeah, and the counter argument down in Devil is say you are disrespecting the country's religion. Exactly. I believe, and I've been saying this for a while, we shouldn't tell other countries how they should govern their country. Do you know what I mean? Because every country has different religious beliefs, govern their country in the way they think their country should be governed. And if their people are happy, right, and they're and things like that, who are we to tell other people and other countries how they should be governed? That's why I couldn't stand Gary Lineker's opening monologue in the World Cup. I was like, how dare you? How dare you? And then it was the best World Cup of all. It's arguably the best World Cup of all time, especially of our generation. And there was no trouble in the streets. Hardly any Brits got arrested. There's no drinking and no disorderly behaviour. Or, I know people big up Tar Mizzy, who's in the chat sometimes, fan of the show. He went to the World Cup and he said it was a joy to walk around. You're walking around there day and night. There's no trouble. It's lovely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it just gets a bit silly. Do you know what I mean? It just gets a bit silly. Trump rules. I got to say, I am a bit of a fan of Donald Trump. Yeah, exactly 6 times. Jamie Phelps, I know it's the hat, it's the beanie. It's because I'm cold, man. It's freezing today. Jamie Phelps, Oh, I did used to be a swimmer, guys. And and you're totally welcome to your beliefs. And I'm not going to tell you you're right or wrong. You're very welcome to your beliefs. And I always say that. I'd always say that you're welcome to your beliefs. If you don't want that to happen, you want to, you don't want to support Liverpool anymore if that happens and things like that. I'm not going to tell you you're right or wrong. What you can't do is then tell other people that they're right or wrong, because I'm letting you do. You go and do what you want, my man. Honestly, you go and do what you want. You go and do what you want. Not sure about policies, but Trump's 100% is funny. Yeah, I agree. I wonder if the war in Ukraine would have happened if Trump was US president still, though. But that is a totally different podcast for a totally different thing. Trump is really funny. Big up, Frank. I'm a Scouser and a PhD historian, and for me, people shouldn't be talking about human rights if they don't know anything about Qatari business. And fine by me. Big up, Frank. Exactly. Frank, I think it's too much in the media, ain't it? Far too much in the media. People tell you stuff in the media, and people believe it a lot. And like that, Jamie looked like a wee OB with that your pension. I know, I'm cold. Jamie being speedo tomorrow. Don't, because I will. He said that. Okay, stop it. Exactly. It's beautiful. And that's fine, my friend. That's fine. Go for it, my friend. Go for it. I'm not going to tell you you're right or wrong, my friend. If that's how you feel, I'm honestly not going to have a go at you, and I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do in life, my friend. So I'm cool with it, honestly. Yeah, the LeBron James kit's horrible. Apparently Liverpool go wear it as well. Big up Noel in house. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Savarian, basically right, man. You're basically right. Yeah, the After Dark pod, we're going on that. Right, let's get on with this. So I just wanted to have my say in the ownership there, because I know a lot of people are worried about the Man United ownership. So, yeah, yeah, the ownership's a bit all over the place at the moment. But yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guys. Let Man United be. Let Man United be. They go have their own ownership, and we could have our own ownership, and it could be both the same football club. So don't worry about it, guys. Honestly, don't worry about it. So, building this football club back up. So we were talking about this a little bit last night about, having a big clear out in the summer, and I think we have to have a big clear out in the summer. I think we have to have a big clear out in the summer. Now, Naby Keita, we have been told now Naby Keita is leaving this football club. He will not be signing new contracts, and Naby is gone. So that's one. Yeah. So Naby's leaving. Oxlade-Chamberlain's leaving to do his TikTok career. Adrian's going to be leaving the football club. James Milner by possibility. We've heard nothing yet about anything with James Milner. So I'm going to take it right now that James Milner will be leaving the football club. So that's 4. Who else, guys? Who else out of contract? Bobby Firmino. But by the look of it, Bobby's staying. Bobby's staying at the football club. So that's 4 gone. So Milner going, Ox going, Naby going, Adrian going. Yeah, they're all going out because they're out of contract. I think we need to go a bit harder than that. They'll all be signing contract extensions. Could you imagine it if they did? Big up Munzie in the chat. You're doing well, mate. If they did, that'd be hilarious. That would be absolutely hilarious. I don't think they will, though. I think they're all going to go. But I think we need to go a bit further than that. We need to go a bit further than that, guys. I think there's players in this football club that have come to the end of their time at this football club. Namely Fabinho. I think Fabinho probably needs to move on in the summer. We spoke about Matip and Gomez last night on the show as well. But as the boys brought up last night, that we have got so much work to do in the midfield. We really probably can't afford to let go of any defenders right now, because so much work needs to be done in the midfield. So if you look at the defensive side of it, yes, Matip for me would probably go. Matip would probably go this summer if it was up to me, and we would go buy a defender. But with all the work in the midfield that we need to do, all the work we need to do in the midfield, I think we're going to keep hold of all our centre backs, unfortunately. But I would have let Joel Matip go. I really would. I think Joel Matip's just come to the end of his time at Liverpool. He don't look the same player without Virgil. When Virgil playing alongside Matip still looks decent. As soon as Virgil's gone, Matip don't look like the same player. The last few months with Matip, I've been watching him. I just don't think Matip is great at the moment. Eunice says Matip's contract is up in 2024. I think we just keep him and let Matip go. I think we just let Matip go when his contract expires. I don't think he ain't going to get a new one. Big up Uncle Rod's in the house. Big up David in the house. RJ in the house. Hope you're all doing well. Big up to you, Bear, as well. Savarian. So Joe Gomez, the other one, like Cav said yesterday, and he was quite a thing what Cav said about Joe Gomez going out on loan. So we were speaking about this last night as well, and Joe Gomez going out on loan maybe. Now, with Joe Gomez, I've been looking at him, and apart from that year when we won the Premier League. Oh, from that year we won the Premier League. Joe Gomez actually been that good for Liverpool. Now, I don't mean this to sound horrible, but apart from the year Liverpool won the Premier League, well, I think Gomez played 24 games or something like that. Has Joe Gomez actually been that good for Liverpool? Did he just have a good 6 months in all his time at Liverpool? Has Joe Gomez really just had a good 6 months and we put a lot of pressure on him because them 6 months he had were really good and we bigged him up a lot and praised him a lot? But if we're really thinking about it, guys, if we're really thinking about it, has Joe Gomez been good enough? Has Joe Gomez been good enough to stay at Liverpool? Big up Monts in the house. How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing well. Has Joe Gomez been good enough to stay at Liverpool? I'm not even joking. Go when he first signed. Was it 2015? He's been at Liverpool for a long time, yeah? He's been at Liverpool a long, long time, yeah? 8 years. Coming up to 9 years he's been at Liverpool. Has he only ever really had 6 good months? Because, you know, he had a good run in the Champions League as well when we won the Champions League. He had a good run in the Premier League, but he didn't play full seasons, did he? You know, in the Champions League run, he played like, what, a few months because of injury. The title winning season, he only played a few months because of injury. It's not like he completed 2 seasons. You know, Champions League final, I think it was Matip and Virgil that played. So, how good has Gomez actually been for Liverpool? How good has Joe Gomez actually been for Liverpool Football Club? And does he play enough games for us to go, you know what, let's keep him. Let's keep him. He's been at Liverpool since 2014. No, 2015, yeah. He joined Liverpool in the 15-16 season for 4.9 million. Or 2.5 million quid, sorry. I'm trying to get his stats up here. He's played 17 games this season. 17 games. Played 26 games in all competitions this season, Joe Gomez. 17 in the Premier League, 4 Champions League games, 3 FA Cup games, and 2 League Cup games. 21 games. Let's have a look at his full stats here. Let's go overall. Let's have a look at Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez has only played in all his time he's been at Liverpool. So Joe Gomez has been at Liverpool since 2015, guys. And Joe Gomez has only played 104 games for Liverpool. 104 times. Yeah, Mons, I'll send you the link, mate. I'll do it now. Yeah, he's only played 104 times for Liverpool since 2015, guys. What do we do with Joe Gomez? What do we do with Joe Gomez? There you go. Mons, I sent you the link, mate. It's in your Twitter. What do we do? Like I said, he's played 104 Premier League games, 35 Champions League games, 21 Championship games, 12 FA Cup games, 12 League Cup games, 9 Premier League 2 games, 2 Europa League, 2 World Club Cup, 2 Community Shields, 1 UEFA Super Cup, 1 Champions League qualifier. He's played in total in his whole career, 201 games. He's only ever scored 1 goal, and that was in Premier League 2 when he was a kid. 7 assists, 31 yellow cards, 1 red, no red cards. And he's only played 201 games. That's madness. Absolutely madness. The amount of injuries he's had has really really let Gomez down, I think. And that's what I'm saying. But I don't think we can afford to let any defender go this summer because of the build-up in midfield. We have got to build this midfield up so much that I don't think we got room. Don't think we got room for to buy a centre-back. Yeah, that's the thing, Angel. That's what I'm saying, man. We can't afford to let him go this summer. That is the thing we got. But we got to, and he's homegrown as well, which makes him attractive to offers. I think we could. Look, don't get me wrong. I think people would buy Joe Gomez. People would feel like if he can keep him fit, he's worth the gamble because he's a decent defender. He can run. He's quick. He's athletic. But them two injuries he's had back to back, I just think have stunted his career. And we got to look at it now as a team and go, do we want to continue with Joe Gomez as fourth choice centre back? Because is he going to be able to give us what we need if he's called upon? That's what Liverpool got to be looking at. That's what Liverpool. He's never been great in the air. For a centre back, he's useless in the air. He gets caught out positionally quite a lot as a centre back as well. He's a bit like Trent as a centre back. All the stuff we talk about Trent getting caught out in the right back position a lot, and spatial awareness is not one of his strong points. You can pick that to Joe Gomez as well. I just think Gomez, yes, in that Champions League and Premier League 2 seasons, when he played, he was pivotal. He looked good. That partnership he had with Virgil was probably Liverpool's best partnership under Jurgen Klopp. I think they never lost a game together. I think they conceded the less goals Liverpool have ever conceded in the Premier League when them two are a partnership. Now, you can also state the fact that Liverpool then were at the peak of their powers physically and mentally as a team. You had that quality midfield in front of them. You had you had Salah, Mane and Bobby up top doing their thing. So the defence never got called upon so much. So it's hard how to judge it. But now you've got Konate there. I think Konate is going to be the number one choice to partner Virgil going forward. And then you're looking at Matip and Gomez, third and fourth choice. So is Gomez going to be happy being fourth or third choice and not playing so much? He's at, 25 now? He's at a good age? Does Gomez feel like at 25 he should be a first team player every single week, not third or fourth choice centre back? Does he feel like I could still get in the England team? It's an interesting one, guys. It's an interesting one. Exactly, guys. Like, sub, and share, guys. Like, sub, and share. Let's get the likes up, guys. We're almost on 100 likes, guys. We're on 93 likes right now. 7 more likes or 100, guys. Let's go for it right now. It's 113 people in the house. Go and press the fun button. Let's get to 100 likes right now. 7 more people. Hit that fun button. Go for it. Yeah, there's been rumours about Gavidal today. Apparently Liverpool keen on him, but so are Real Madrid. Liverpool are never buying this geezer. This geezer's going to go for a world record fee for a centre-back, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes between that 70, 85 million. That's what Leipzig are going to look for. Leipzig are going to look for it. They go look at the Premier League and what players have gone there. What's his name that went to Leicester, from Leicester to Chelsea? Fofana, is it? When he went for 85 million? You think Leipzig are going to want something close to that. So, yeah, we're never going to touch him. Never. Unless we get new owners. Yeah. It's what it's there to be had. England team. To be fair, Pat, man, when Joe Gomez was in form before all the big major injuries in our Champions League and Premier League winning teams, he was as good as an English centre-back as there was in the Premier League at that time. It's just that his form's shit now. But as I'm saying, he might be looking at it and thinking, 25 years of age, I could be played somewhere else, you know what I mean? Yeah, Gabriel, it wouldn't surprise me if Gabriel went to City. City need defenders because City's defenders are terrible at that moment. You know, Kanje's awful. Ake's decent. John Stones is your best defender. I've never been a fan of Ruben Diaz. I don't think Ruben Diaz is as good as everyone makes him out to be. But I like Ake. Akanji's terrible. John Stones is your best defender for me. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The injuries have fucked him. Pat-Man, you're right. The injuries have fucked him, man. The injuries have messed him up so badly. No, he's done for, man. He's done for. He ain't coming back from them injuries. No way. They are not broke any injuries. No, he's done for. He's done for as a player like that. Stones, Diaz, Ake are City's best defenders. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure about Ruben. I've never been a big Ruben Diaz fan. I don't think he's that great as a defender. I think he's out of position a lot. I don't think I'll be shocked, Nicky, if we do buy Bellingham. I'll be absolutely shocked. But yeah. So, not touching the defender side of it. Let's just look at the midfield then, guys. If we're looking at the midfield that needs the injection in our team right now. So, I look at our midfield and I'm thinking, right, who do I want to keep in this midfield? That'd be the thing I'll think of first. If I'm Jurgen Klopp this summer, I'm looking at this midfield and I'm thinking, who do I want to keep in this midfield? I think he puts Thiago number 1 and I think he puts Jordan Henderson number 2. As what Klopp would think. I think he puts Thiago and so he writes it all down. He's got 2 lists, keep and let go, right? On the keep side, he's probably got Thiago and Hendo, right? As his first 2, right? And then you go down the order. Who else do I keep? Stefan stays. Stefan Bajatic stays. No doubt about that. He's got a great future at the football club, right? And then who do you look at? Fabinho. Look, Klopp's hang out Fabinho to dry. People might not like it. I know people are a bit upset the way that Klopp's treated Fabinho. But we asked Klopp to do this. We said to Klopp, don't be too sentimental. You know, we asked Klopp not to be sentimental. And then when he's not sentimental, we're like, you've hung Fabinho out to dry a little bit there. So we've got to make sense of it. Fabinho's dog shit. You know, Fabinho's been absolutely useless for about 12 months now. I called it last season. I said last season, there's something wrong with Fabinho. Everyone told me, Jamie, you're talking nonsense. He's been one of the best DMs in Europe this season. And I've been saying, no, watch him carefully in games. He's getting outrun in every single game. People are walking past him. And it's gone into this season now. And now, you know, referees run past him. He can't keep up with an English referee. Fabinho can't keep up with an English referee in a running race. And people want to keep him as their DM for this club when he can't outrun a standard overweight English referee. Why do you want to keep him as a DM? Why does anyone want to keep him as a DM when he can't outrun a bog standard English referee? It's mad. It's mad. Did he pass a lactate test? He probably didn't. It just... I said to you guys a couple of days ago. Who would you rather come off the bench, Milner or Fabinho? And all of you in the chat voted unanimously for Milner. If you had to pick one player to come off the bench tomorrow in a game, Fabinho or Milner, all of you voted Milner in the chat. All of you did. And that tells you everything you need to know. So if everyone would rather Milner come on as a substitute for 29-year-old Fabinho, who is a DM, but people would rather a 37-year-old Milner come on for him, Fabinho is finished. Why would we keep him? Singing cops his arms. Why would we keep him? It makes no sense. And I know people are saying keep him as a squad player. He's a squad player at the moment. Have you seen his performances when he comes off the bench? They're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible. He's had his place taken by an 18-year-old academy player. Fabinho, who was spoke about as one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe a few years ago. Everyone was talking about, Fabinho, Casemiro, Rodri, Fernandinho. These are the best defensive midfielders in Europe. These 4 or 5, they're the best around, yeah? Right, what's happened? Now, we are saying an 18-year-old kid from our academy has taken Fabinho's place, and Fabinho looks like he doesn't care. He looks like he doesn't care. And for me, that's an issue. For me, that's an issue. We got Keep It Level. Hope you're doing well. We got Gary, about Barry. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Nikki in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Fab's legs are older than my grand's. Exactly. I think there was something came out the other day from some kind of sports science thing or something that the amount of games Fabinho plays, his body is like a 35-year-old now. Well, if that's the case, he's only going to be 36 next year. So why keep him? Why keep Fabinho? So for me, I think, let's get a vote on it in the chat, guys. Let's get a vote on it in the chat. Does Fabinho leave Liverpool at the end of this season? Yes or no? In the chat right now, guys. Put it in the chat right now. Does Fabinho leave Liverpool at the end of this season? It looks like Klopp's done with him. It looks like he wants out. It looks like he's done. It looks like he's done. An 18-year-old academy player has taken his place, and it doesn't look like any fight from Fabinho at all. Everyone's saying, yeah, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Done, says Big Pundit. Big up Big Pundit in the house. They're doing well. Yeah, sad to say. Look, it's sad to say. I love Fabinho. Love him as a player. But nothing lasts forever. As I keep saying, guys, nothing lasts forever. The only thing that lasts forever are diamonds and Ric Flair. And that is it. Nothing else lasts forever. So, yeah. Unfortunately, he has to go. Luke, would you want him at centre-back right now? Look, I know Fabinho played at right back earlier in his career, and he plays as a deputy centre-back when we desperately needed it. But, I don't know, would you trust him at centre-back right now? Would you trust him at centre-back right now? I wouldn't. I just don't think he can play for Liverpool anymore. And I'm not saying Fabinho is a bad player, by the way. Ric Flair has more stamina than Fabinho. Probably does, 75. I don't think Fabinho's a bad player. I just don't think he can play for Liverpool anymore. I just think it's caught up with him. I think the intense training and the intense games for the last 4 years and chasing Man City for the last 4 years and the intense way that Liverpool train at and the way Liverpool play at have just caught up with Fabinho. He had the summer off. I know everyone says that I'll be back next season when he has some rest. He had this summer off. He rested this summer. He went to the World Cup and got a suntan because he didn't play. He just went to Qatar and got a suntan and sat on the bench all the World Cup. He didn't play, didn't exert any energy. The man's rested. I mean, he's just done. He's just done. Oh, all right. Jamie, for you, who's the biggest disappointment in Liverpool squad right now? Mo Salah. This is one we're going to have to talk about, guys. This is one we're going to have to talk about. What do we say about Mo Salah? What do we say about Mo Salah? I'm getting to all the older Liverpool players. So we start with Fabinho. Now go talk about Mo Salah. What do we say about Mo Salah? Now, I love Mo Salah. I'm not going to sit here and pretend Mo Salah's a great for Liverpool. You could argue that Mo Salah is Liverpool's best ever Premier League player. Now, people will go, Jamie, you can't say that because of Stevie G. I agree. But Mo Salah won everything for Liverpool, including the Premier League that Stevie couldn't win. Mo Salah is 7th in the all-time of Liverpool goal scorers. If he gets 9 more goals before the end of the season, I think he goes up to 5th. Up to 5th as the all-time goal scorer for Liverpool Football Club. Now, them stats are amazing. Mo will always score goals, yeah? Mo will always score goals. I think he only needs like 4 more goals to get 20 in all competitions yet again this season, yeah? Mo will always score goals. I'm not a problem with that, all right? But is Mo Salah becoming our Ronaldo? Is Mo Salah becoming our Ronaldo problem? Now, what I mean by that is that Ronaldo is a great of the game, a tremendous player, one of the greatest players of all time, yeah? Right? Scored 26 goals for Man United last season. But even in them 26 goals for Man United he scored last season, Man United fans were starting to get on him because he doesn't do enough in games. He doesn't do enough in games. And he disrupted the way Man United wanted to play. And Ten Hag has come into the team this season and gone, you know what, Ronaldo? As good as you are, yes, you're too old now. You are a world's great. You could probably score 20 goals for me this season, more than likely if I put you in the right positions. If I made you a centre forward, told you just to stay up top, don't worry about coming back, you'd probably get 20 goals for me, yeah? But you're not going to do what I want in the team to make it worthwhile me keeping you. So let him go. The first ever manager that has told Ronaldo that he doesn't want him. Ronaldo has never met a manager that doesn't want him. Ten Hag was the first. That's why Ronaldo was so upset. And I'm not saying Mo's like that yet, because Mo's younger than Ronaldo, obviously, and obviously Mo's nowhere near the footballer Ronaldo is. But the last 12 months, and this is not reactionary, this goes back from last January. You can go from January to January, guys. 12-month period, yeah? Mo has been distinctly average. He's been very average in his gameplay. He'll score goals all the time, but he's got very average in his gameplay. Now, he's not as quick as he once was. He hasn't got that explosion of pace that he once had. He doesn't really run in behind defenders no more. We talk about his new positioning. Everyone keeps saying, oh, Salah's not playing the way he played last season because we got him in a new position. Have we? Is Mo in a new position that I don't know about? Because as far as I'm aware, Mo's always played right wing for Liverpool in a 4-3-3. I might be stupid here. I might have fell asleep and woke up and Mo actually played centre forward or left wing. I just don't. I thought Mo always plays right wing. I always thought Mo played right wing for Liverpool. Now, his role in the team can change, playing right wing, but his position hasn't changed. Is his role in the team changed? Maybe. Is the players around Mo Salah affecting the way Mo Salah's playing at the moment? You know, you don't really get Trent overlapping Mo anymore. And when Harvey Elliott plays in midfield, Harvey Elliott gets into Mo Salah's space where Mo Salah wants to be in, because Harvey Elliott's more of a natural attacking player, so he naturally goes into them spaces. And unfortunately, they're the spaces Mo Salah wants to go in. So you could say it's two things. You could say it's the team around him, and you can also say Mo is not quite the player he once was. What's John say here? No, Jurgen Klopp as his. So you must always support the players who won you stuff. You can't you can't want them out, back the players. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing, Klopp. This is the thing. We've got to be. And look, Fozzie's right as well. World-class players don't need excuses, Jamie. I'm sorry. And you're right, my man. Big up to you as well, Fozzie. Big up to you. You're right there. So is Mo Salah really world-class? That's another thing you got to talk about. Was Mo Salah world-class and he's just good now? Has he downgraded a little bit? Is Mo just not the player he once was? Or is Mo not interested as much as he was? That's another thing. Has Mo got his eyes on something else? Has Mo got his eyes on a move out of Liverpool? Is Mo looking here thinking, like, Liverpool ain't going to play Champions League next season? I'm 31 years of age next season. I've just signed a big contract with Liverpool. This is how Mo could be looking at it. Mo's like, I've just signed a big contract with Liverpool Football Club. Last season, we went for the quadruple. One of the greatest seasons I've ever had as a player. So I decided to sign a big new contract. I don't want to leave Liverpool. And then this season, he's looking at it now going, we ain't getting back in the top four. And we might not get back in the top four the season after that. So do I spend 2 years out of the Champions League when I'm 30, 31? So if Salah's thinking like that, he might have eyes somewhere else, guys. He might. Can you see Mo, honestly, not playing Champions League for another 2 years? Big up Ends Man in the chat. Hope you're good, my friend. Can you see Mo not playing for another 2 years in the Champions League? You know, Mo. We can't look. Mo scores goals. Mo always scores goals, and I love him for it. Big up Jenny from Kloppish as well. Mo will always score goals, yeah? No doubt about it. Mo's a goal scorer. That's what he does. Mo's about output. And I just want Mo to go back to scoring goals. But my problem at the moment is that Mo's not doing enough on the pitch when he's not scoring goals at the same time. He's not contributing to the team well enough when he isn't scoring goals. And that's my worry at the moment with Mo. I'm just worrying, has Mo got eyes on something else? Is he done? Can he physically do it anymore as well? Is his legs just gone because of the 4 or 5 years of intense football that Liverpool played, that Mo's had to play? You know, Mo never gets rested. Mo never gets dropped. If Mo's fit, and he's always fit, one of the big things about Mo, he's a proper athlete, looks after his body. Mo plays every week. Mo's never rested or dropped. So Mo's played football for so long. There is so much football in the legs of Mo Salah, especially at Liverpool Football Club, that is he physically done? You know, he might be physically fit as a fiddle, but is he physically done? Because he's played 4 or 5 years at the highest level for Liverpool Football Club without ever being rested, without ever being dropped, without ever being rotated. Chasing down Man City every single season is exhausting. They train at the highest intensity possible because they want the highest intensity in training to match their gameplay on the pitch. So is Mo just done physically? Is he just physically done? That is one thing, again, that Jurgen Klopp and his team, Jurgen Klopp and his team have got to really think about this in the summer. They've got to really, really think about this in the summer. Is Mo just physically done because the hardship it's taken on his body, on his legs for the last few years, and he just ain't got it in him now physically to carry on doing what Mo did before. Or we as fans just got to look at it and go, right, Mo will score goals, but Mo will never be the player he was 3 years ago because physically he can't get to that standard anymore. But he'll always score goals, and as a fan, we just got to acknowledge that and leave him in the team. It's hard. Or does Mo come back with better players around him? If we get this midfield overhaul that we've been promised this summer, does Mo come back better next season? Mo, I'm going to leave as a maybe. I'm going to leave Mo as a. I'm just going to leave Mo as a thing at the moment where I'm not too sure about. I've got Monts in the house. We're going to bring Monts in. Jamie, give me goals. I need goals now. Yeah, you got to put Mo in positions to score them goals. Though you got to give him. You got to give him. Put me in position to score them goals. I hear Coutinho's available. You know. I hear Coutinho's available. I hear Coutinho's available. Mo is financially satisfied. That kills your hunger. E.g., Conor McGregor. That's very, very true. That's very true. It's hard to determine a lot at the Mo because everything is away. Jamie, Mo will come good. Believe me, he's world class. Don't forget. When I look at this, it smells of 91, 92 players that aging and careless attitude from the ball, which lasted 30 years. I agree. I remember them times. Yeah, it's just I'm not sure with Mo. I'm going to keep Mo in the back burner. We'll get Monts on in a minute. He's going to let me know when he's ready. Big up the Monts. Just let me know when you're ready, Monts, and we'll get his opinion on it as well because I love Mo to bits. I don't want Mo going anywhere. When Mo signed his contract, I wanted Mo to retire at Liverpool Football Club. I want this to be his last football club. I want Mo to be a living legend at his football club. I want him to go as close to Ian Rush's record as he possibly can, even if he just finishes second in the list. You know, what an incredible achievement from Mo Salah, arguably Liverpool's best ever Premier League player. You know, I love the geezer. I absolutely do. But I'm a Liverpool fan, and I'm thinking as a Liverpool fan, what is best for Liverpool going forward? What is best for Liverpool going forward? You know, and we got to think of it like that. We've got to think of it like that. It's not the money. Mo just doesn't have it. The lack of a frontline pressing without Mane, Jota, and for me, it's noticeable every game. Exactly, Angel. I agree. There is no pressing at the moment. You know, Mane pressed, Jota pressed. Yeah, they're all pretty. Yeah, Monty's ready now. Bring up my man. Hey, you.
Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. Just recovering after yesterday's funeral for Liverpool. Funeral service I was attending.
Yeah, they're lovely. Did you have a nice wake after?
Yes, all the rival fans decided to turn up and spoil the party. So,
Oh, as they do, as they do, as they do.
they do spoil the wake.
It's like having an uncle you ain't seen for 30 years turn up out of the blue, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what are you thinking of the Mo Salah thing I was just talking about there? I'm saying I love Mo to bits, as I said. I want him to retire at Liverpool Football Club when he signed his new contract. He could arguably be Liverpool's greatest ever Premier League player. There's a debate there.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he's playing at the moment, what are your thoughts?
It's just similar to the Klopp situation. If the owners are there, Klopp needs to go. If Klopp ain't willing to change the system, Salah needs to go. That's as simple as it gets for me. Salah's probably one of our top two favorite players at the moment, and it's like the system needs to be flourishing for Salah to be the best player in the world. And I'm not saying Salah's a complete system player, but the system does affect the all-round game you'll get from him. I think if the system correlates to his all-round game, but his numbers will always be good. That's why I don't completely call him a system player, because his numbers never drop, despite what happens. So that's why he's not 100% a system player. But I think if you look at his all-round game, that is what the system contributes to that. So therefore, what I think is that I feel like Klopp's at like he's at a conundrum where he doesn't know what to do, or he's just stupid. I don't know which one it is. Hopefully it's not the latter. But you can't put all your faith in a player whose all-round game becomes reliant to the system. It doesn't make sense. No. It just doesn't make sense at all. I feel like bringing in a 9 and not having a false 9 already takes a chunk out of Salah's game. Getting rid of Mane, we can all say took a chunk out of Salah's game. And then the tweak that Linda's apparently made, but Klopp okayed, takes another chunk out of Salah's game, leaving you with what? Just a goal scorer, unfortunately. So, and he's not even doing that at the moment, which makes it even worse. So, for me, unless that can change, it's the end of the road. As hard as it is to say, I've come to terms with that. But I do feel like with the return of Diaz and Jota, maybe we see a slightly better Mo Salah. I guess we wait and see. Salah isn't really the same player about Firmino, but how often and how consistent is Firmino's fitness going to be? Is that because Liverpool don't have a club doctor at the moment? I don't know. I don't know what the physios are doing. we were told Firmino's injured. He's going to be out for a couple of games, 3 weeks. Like, you haven't seen him since February the 8th. We ain't seen him.
It's mad. It's absolutely mad. It's a common era. You can tell the geezer on the left is Irish. I am nowhere near Irish, man. My wife's Irish, but not me. Not me. You got to excuse me. I've got a fucking cold. The kids have gave me a cold, man. And there was another one. I like giving that. I like mentioning the hate. Stop saying his name every other word. You still twat. Now,
whose name? Salah's name.
We're talking about Mo Salah. What do you want me to call him? John.
John Salah.
And you still twat also makes no sense. no sense. That's all right, man. It's because I'm pale. That's the reason why. I get it. It's all good, though. It's all good. I wish I was Irish at times. The Irish rule. Yeah, Mo is just I love the guy, and I'm just putting him at. I'm not putting him as a keep or let go right now. I'm just putting Mo there in between. Like, if things change around him, he gets better. But the thing we got to remember about Mo is all the time he's played for Liverpool, and the best Mo's ever been for Liverpool is when Bobby was the number 9. Now, things have changed all season for Mo. Either Bobby's playing 9, Darwin's playing 9, Gakpo's playing 9, Jota played the occasional 9. So if you're Mo, you're thinking like Mo probably needs that player he can play off in that central striking position. Now, Darwin's not a player you can play off because Darwin wants to chase the same balls Mo wants to chase. No, he wants to get in the space in behind. Darwin's not going to come short, link the play. That's not his game. He just wants to play off the edge off the shoulder of a man and run into space. That's what Darwin wants to do. So if you're doing that, Mo's not going to be able to link in that way. Where Bobby's just still he comes deep. I mean, them 2 games before I always go back to them 2 games before the World Cup where we won both games and we looked quite good. When Darwin played left, Bobby played through the central area, and Salah played right. And the link up between all 3 was excellent. And what that also helped was that when Bobby comes so deep, Mo and Darwin also then become like wide centre forwards, like they come in closer.
Yeah, they come in
in front of the goal more. And if you notice, Darwin and Mo linked up nicely with each other then because
there was a few moments where they was beginning to understand each other. I think because off the ball, it became a 4-4-2. And I don't know if you guys saw at Everton as well. Klopp started to play Firmino as a central attacking midfielder. He started playing him as an advanced 8. And we were like, wait a minute, is Bobby finally being played as an 8? As not an 8, but like a cam kind of thing. Like in between like the 10 and the 8. And I think off the ball, that's what we were kind of leaning towards. Off the ball, Firmino kind of drops in, does the work off the ball. And then on the ball, it goes back to that sort of false 9 where Bobby knits things together and the two wide players can make their converging runs. They can invert, and it was working. I don't care what anyone says. We battered Arsenal in that first half. Battered him in that first half.
Yeah, we did. We should have been 2 or 3 up.
Yeah. Diaz injury, of course, unfortunately. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, again, it was Southampton, West Ham, Tottenham, battered them. Maybe second half Tottenham are better than us, but that's because I think we'd already 2-0 up, games already done. The only thing else is that we struggled to close out games, and that's where I was very critical of Klopp, because he'd take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Like, he took the 1 step forward in changing the formation to 4-4-2, and then maybe playing like a diamond going forward. We beat Man City. As I said, we beat Spurs, beat Southampton, beat West Ham. Who else did? Yeah, I said we had a very good first half against Arsenal at the Emirates, and all of a sudden, the 2 steps back came against games like Brighton, where even though the defense was lacking, in-game substitutions against Brighton, that one stuck. That one for me made the least amount of sense. For me, the Brighton substitutions.
Yeah.
The substitutions against there was another one. He's just made a lot of in-game substitutions that have
the Wolves game the other day. The Wolves game.
Yeah, the Wolves game. Like, there's been a lot of in-game substitutions that have just not been good enough. The Crystal Palace game doesn't bring on Naby Keita. Starts Nat Phillips over Joe Gomez, and obviously Joe Gomez. I'm not sticking up for Joe Gomez, but if anyone's going to go against Zaha, it's not Nat Phillips. It's just not, you know what I mean? It's do you know what I'm saying? So
I do love Nat. I do love Nat though.
Yeah, love Nat to bits, but like, yeah, any other striker and we're all right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I think the 2 steps back was those in-game substitutions, but throughout the game, as I said, for the 70th up to the 70th minute, would be really good, and then we'd really tire out, fall off. Like, we'd become like Brighton were pinning us in, and like, was that Anfield? Brighton are pinning us in.
Yeah.
Last 15 minutes pinning us back. Like, no, we should be seeing games out by keeping the ball and pinning them back. You know what I'm saying? But you're keeping Trent on the pitch and putting on James Milner in like midfield, and then not putting Joe Gomez right back, the actual position that he probably can play without being a stripper. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. That's what I mean by 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, and 2 steps back. And why I can't excuse Klopp this season for the foolishness that I'm seeing. And then after the World Cup goes back to the same old 4-3-3, when we actually showed against teams like Tottenham, against Manchester City, against Arsenal, who were flying at that point. Arsenal were flying, arguably flying more than they were now. Arsenal were flying at that point in the season. You know what I'm saying? Made them look ordinary in that first half.
Yeah, it's that he went from October. He went to like a 4-2-4 or a 4-2-3-1 in game, didn't he? And it was working nicely. And as you say, we came back after the World Cup, and he went, "Yeah, I got all the boys back now. I'll just go 4-3-3." It's like it tells me that he only did it because of personnel. So he changed because of personnel. And as soon as personnel started to come back after the World Cup, he went back to tried and trusted, and that's a worry going forward. So I totally get that. So the crop of players we've got at this club right now, Mons. So we know the players that are leaving because of contracts. We know Naby's off. We know Adrian's off. Milner probably. Oxy's got a TikTok career he's going to do. You know, they're all off. Or the One Show. I've heard the One Show want Oxlade-Chamberlain when he leaves Liverpool. So he might have a good job there. Apart from the players leaving for free, that are going to leave the club because of contract anyway. What players are you looking at this squad right now and thinking we should just let go in the summer and move on? I'll put Fabinho there as one already. Because Fabinho, I remember I've been on this. Fabinho for me isn't a reactionary, because I said it last season about Fab. And he's been, as I said earlier, Fabinho can't outrun a basic English referee.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you, Mons, if you had to pick right now, like I said to this chat, and it was unanimous. If I said to you right now, you're going to bring on a substitution, it's either going to be Fabinho or Milner. Who do you pick?
Milner.
Exactly. He's 37. The 29-year-old Fabinho. His legs, look, he's just been out a bit like Mo. When they're fit, they play all the time. The intense training, the intense match days, chasing Man City for 4 years. Unfortunately for Fabinho, it's ruined him. I don't think Fabinho's a bad player. I think Fabinho could go to Atletico Madrid for Diego Simeone and play that tight 4-4-2 and look fine.
Yeah.
But playing a high line, expansive football in a 4-3-3 for Liverpool, it's never going to work. It's not going to help him. It's just not going to help him.
I think I already said Fab. The Serie A is screaming for Fab to go there, innit?
Yeah, he could work there beautifully.
Fiorentina, swapped off Fiorentina for Amrabat. Problem solved,
yeah.
in my opinion. I think that is it possible for Fab to regain his form? I think it's beyond bad form now for Fabinho, in my opinion. There are still fans that don't criticize Klopp. And they say they don't criticize Klopp, but they're showing the same tendencies as Klopp. I've got that wrong. There are fans that criticize
sentimental. Yeah.
Yeah, they're criticizing Klopp for his sentimentality, but they're saying give players like Fab another season.
Yeah, exactly. And like
has Klopp's sentimentality filtered through to the fan base?
I think it has. But look, and Klopp's doing something we've asked him to do for a while now. He's hung a player out to dry. When was the last time you heard Klopp ever mention how bad a player is at a press conference?
How did he say? How bad? Didn't he say? He said, "Stefan, like if you play for the team, you will play."
And Stefan's playing for the team.
Is that what he said?
And Stefan's playing for the team right now, so Stefan has to play.
Yeah,
if you're Klopp, you're looking at him like.
Even that's a bit too nice, by the way. Even that's a bit.
Yeah. It's still too nice, but what Klopp's basically said to Fabinho, you've got an 18-year-old kid from our academy has taken your spot in my first team.
And I'm sorry, Jamie.
At the moment,
sorry, he's all right. He's just all right.
And at the moment, you don't look bothered, and that's the problem. Klopp's looking at it like Fabinho, you don't look bothered that this 18-year-old kid from the academy has taken your spot. No one's ever taken your spot, but this 18-year-old kid from the academy who was a centre-back has taken your spot. You don't look bothered.
Who do you think's better, Tyler Morton or Stefan Bajcetic? Who do you think's better? I think Tyler Morton's better, to be honest.
I think Tyler Morton might suit.
His loan spell's going all right as well. He actually
he's played every game, even cup games.
Yeah.
He's pivotal for Blackburn right now. And Blackburn are in the promotion places, I believe, as well. So Tyler Morton's bigger.
Stefan's all right. I'm not saying Stefan's shit. Like, he's all right, isn't it? Like, he's like, if Liverpool are high flying, he gets nowhere into the team. Like, let's be honest. He's nowhere in the team.
Yeah. I think Tyler Morton might be more physical. He might be more physical. And he's bigger as well. I didn't realise how big Tyler Morton's got since his loan to Blackburn. I think someone said he's grown 3 inches since he's been at Blackburn, apparently. So
yeah, he needed that. Whether Tyler Morton will be good enough in Liverpool is another question. I just think he's a bit better than Stefan. I think they're quite similar. Low socks, good range of passing. Both of them aren't the most mobile in the world, not the best tacklers. They're quite similar, and I think maybe Morton's just probably bulked up a little bit due to his loan spell where Stefan's still very lightweight in what he's doing, but still keeps it ticking, does what he needs to do. He's only in the team because of how shit we are, and that's the reality of it. Not a bad player. You know what I'm saying? It goes in that for me.
He's only a kid,
and that's all right. If it's better than what we've got, that's all right. No hate on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just call a spade a spade. He's like everyone will say to me, Mont, how dare you? He's still a kid. Men's football. Allow me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm judging him on the men's team that he's in. You know? But yeah, I think Fabinho's time is up. He needs to go to Serie A and play at that mileage. He has been run into the ground for me. I think for me with Fabinho, I would have even given him a run at centre back this season from the beginning of the season rather than making him have to run around in CM. I would have tried him at centre back to see if he was better than what Gomez was going to bring us. because Fabinho was actually a class centre back, and this is why still when he was slow, by the way, slow as hell.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get the performances like the Bayern one out of my head when I was thinking that centre back. That's a real option there at centre back if things really, really.
But do you trust him play centre back right now though? That's the problem.
No, not now. I wouldn't trust him to anywhere. But
no, exactly. I literally think Fabinho's gone in the summer. I actually think he's gone. Klopp looks like he's done with him. So if Klopp's done with him, I think he's literally gone.
Signed a contract last year. Did he sign a contract last year?
I think 18 months back now. So
yeah.
He's got time in his contract.
Wasn't that till 2027?
Yeah, if someone comes in for like 25 mil for Fabinho, I think people sell. I think Liverpool sell. I think 25 million for Fabinho is about right. When I look at,
go on.
I was going to say when I look at other players, like he's calling out Fabinho, Klopp, yeah, right. There's one player he hasn't called out, which I know a lot of the fan base are like, is he going to call him out because he's just been a shit, and that's our captain. Now, Hendo, everyone thought there was a time where the other week when Fabinho and Hendo didn't play against Chelsea and Hendo didn't play the week after and then came on a sub and then is back in the team again. The reason Hendo was left out of the team is because he had injury. I think he had a back strain or something like that. Now, in my opinion, if Klopp's going to pick 2 midfielders he keeps this summer, right, as his first choice, he does a list. Klopp does he's at his desk, he's doing his own list, keep and to keep and sell. In the keep pile, I literally think the 2 names he puts in there are Thiago and Henderson. But should Henderson be in that keep pile?
Have you done one for Gomez, by the way? This is random. Have you done one for Gomez? Yeah.
Gomez, yeah, we were talking about Gomez earlier, where I feel like he might need to go out on loan for a season. I wouldn't sell him, but
I wouldn't even have gone for Ramsey. I would have just put Gomez as my backup right back. I've seen the only good Gomez I've seen is at right back, and excluding the centre back performance against City, excluding that performance where he was very good, we'll agree with that.
But everyone was very good that game, weren't they? That's the thing.
But Gomez was exceptionally probably the best defender that day. But for me, at right back, there's less pressure. He's got less to do, and I feel like doesn't have to think about as much. My only thing is that he's been very lazy looking across the line. He's kept on multiple attackers onside for goals this season. So for me, either if he doesn't get a loan, sell him. And if we have to keep him, play him at right back. He's lost his centre back place for good for me.
Yeah, so. I just don't see how he can play at centre back right now. Do you think at right back it's like because in the centre back part when he plays centre back, he's usually playing with Virgil most of the time unless Virgil's injured. Do you think at centre back he can get away with it a little bit because Virgil cleans up for him, right? So he doesn't have to think about it. And at right back, maybe he thinks like I got no one. I have to concentrate a little bit more here because I'm the sole right back and no one's next to me. It's going to bail me out. So I have to concentrate a little bit better. And that's why he's quite good there. And he is athletic and he is quick. So right back suits him. And he ain't bad going forward either at right back.
He's been going right back this season. He's not been when he's played there, the few times he's played there, I don't think he's been that bad. I think
argue he's defensively better than Trent at right back as well.
Yeah, so much better than Trent at right back defensively. I think that was remember there was a time where Klopp would start Joe Gomez and he would only play Trent in a game where he was fully going to dominate the game. I think it was in the Champions League winning season. Gomez would start right back probably just as many games as Trent would.
Gomez played against all the big sides, didn't he?
Yeah.
Came in against all the big sides.
Yeah, and again, it worked because he was kind of doing what Arteta was doing, where Ben White would play as a more conventional right back and Zinchenko would go forward. Whereas like with us, Gomez would probably stay back a little bit and then Robertson would fly forward. And Gomez kind of played that inside right centre back. It's reminiscent to the performance against Arsenal. The 2-1 win in the 2019 when we beat Arsenal, it was one of the Arsenal performances where he locked up Aubameyang really well. It might have been 2020, 2021 actually. I don't know, I'm not too sure. But yeah, reminiscent to that game. And I think when he's with Virgil's constantly in his ear. constantly in his ear, telling him what to do.
It's
And like
it's the father figure, ain't he?
Yeah.
It's the father figure.
like David Luiz, I feel like it's David Luiz when he had a leader next to him was so good, man. He was so good because on paper, David Luiz could dribble, he could pass. He wasn't the most aggressive centre back in the world, but he had a mean streak in him. He wasn't too bad in the air, could shoot. He had all these qualities as a centre back, but he needed sort of someone to marshal him most of the time. And I think that obviously that was probably through playing as a DM before he went to centre back. Maybe that's why, not actually being a centre back to begin with. But like, I think with Gomez, similar, he needs to be told what to do. And Matip doesn't Matip's not a leader. Konate's not a leader. There's no leaders at centre back apart from Virgil van Dijk. So obviously, because of that, when there's no leader, Gomez is exposed for the centre back that he is.
They all are a little bit, to be fair. They all are a little bit.
I think
Matip definitely. Matip definitely.
Well, of recent, but I think in the last 2-3 years, I think Matip was fine about Van Dijk at times. But I think they all regress without Virgil. Matip probably the least. But even Konate for me, who is such a good defender, has all the traits. But even in the quad winning season, had a few Brozo moments, even in the final.
Yeah.
Great. He was brilliant in the final. But the moment where that goal should have stood, have stood in just before half time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as I said, I know I'm nitpicking, but we're just without a leader. I'm sorry. And the leader doesn't even have to be Virgil van Dijk, best centre back. It doesn't even have to be that. Just a leader of a centre back. I'm about a leader of a centre back. Gomez isn't it. He can't play. He cannot play.
It's like everyone's saying about Gabardol, right? So Gabardol's a quality defender, but he needs a leader next to him. Like, look, people might not like this, but Lovren was great in the World Cup. No one really speaks about it because everyone's speaking about Gabardol's performance because he was 20. But Lovren was fantastic for Croatia in the World Cup. In fact, I'm going to say this right now. Lovren's been great everywhere he's been apart from Liverpool. Go and look at Lovren's career. He was excellent at Southampton. He was always very good for the international team, you know. And he was great this World Cup as well. And look, he's a player we might have let go a little bit too soon. I'm not sure, but something at Liverpool just didn't work with Lovren. He became bozo.
Go back in my videos. I was annoyed we let Lovren go. Not because it's Lovren, because we didn't replace him.
No, we didn't replace him. Took too long. Took a year to replace him, didn't it? With Konate. If Konate came through the door when Lovren left, no problem.
Yeah, no issues. Yeah, no issues.
But a year later, it's just taking the piss a little bit. But yeah, with Hendo, I'm so torn on Hendo because I love him.
He has to stay, Jamie. He has to stay.
I love Hendo. I've got his book, for goodness sake.
You don't. Yeah, we don't leaders. Oh, you got the other book. God, you got the other one.
I got Pep's book as well. Yeah, I got
you got the other one. Can that go under the mug? Can that go under the mug? The cup holder.
What? Jamie Phillips merchandise. Is that what you're?
Yeah. Can Mendes' book go like under the mug?
I love that book. I love that book.
You know
John Aldridge has slagged it off, ain't he? John Aldridge has slagged it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Hendo stuff, yeah, you have to keep him. But my thing with Hendo, he's a squad player from next season onwards.
Is he willing to be a squad player as the captain?
He has to be. Hendo has to look. Hendo needs to look at it. He's 32, going on 33. He's going to have to look at it knowing that. Do you know what's amazing, right? There's one thing that's amazing that we're talking about. I'll go big Hendo up a little bit here because we're talking about Fabinho's dead, yeah, at 29, right? He's dead, playing in Klopp's team. Hendo's played longer and he's 3 years older. And I would still rather Hendo over Fabinho. So we got to give Fabinho, we got to give Hendo just a little bit of credit where it's due at times. That yes, he's not the greatest footballer in the world, but look, he was pivotal. People might not like it, but Hendo was one of the players we needed to win a Champions League and a Premier League. You know, let's not pretend he weren't part of
20. And Hendo, when he was 28, 29, was hard. I don't care what no one says. Henderson bro. You see the across goal whip shot, top corner, bottom
He was
corner.
great. He was part of the team.
Bro, Henderson 1920 and 18-19, very cold.
But now,
He even had a couple moments last season. The Man United performance, the Everton away performance. Honestly, Henderson, as I said, people like to say as a footballer, but I don't understand what people say as a footballer, because footballers still, as a footballer, doesn't just mean being able to your ball manipulation.
It's because people look at Thiago, don't they?
Yeah, people want to see Thiago.
He's a good forward going forward. He's a good player, Henderson. He has been a good player for Liverpool.
He's got decent shooting ability. Before his crossing ability went, he knew how to cross a ball in. His passing ability was extremely underrated as a passer. Yeah. Henderson has played passes that only Pogba can play, and people will never look at. That assist for Mo Salah against Manchester United at Old Trafford, Pogba would have been proud of that. But obviously, but this isn't the Henderson we're talking about now. This is Henderson.
No, this is a different Endo. But last season, I think only Kevin De Bruyne made more forward passes than Henderson last season. And
Henderson wasn't as bad as he was.
Endo's a decent footballer, man. But this season, look, we're talking about the Hendo now. And for me, going forward, Henderson can't be a starter for Liverpool. If we want to go and get back to where we want to get back to, Henderson has to take that squad role, be the 30 or 20-minute man coming off the bench, maybe starting games and only playing 60 minutes. That's Henderson's role. He needs to take that Milner role. Now, where Milner's different, Milner's more versatile. Milner can play right back. He can play left back. He can play DM. He can play the 8. Milner can play in many roles. Milner's arguably a technically better player than Hendo in some ways.
Henderson was great in the World Cup as well. People would say that was great.
He took Mason Mount's place in the World Cup because he was needed. And you could argue Bellingham got better when Henderson was in the team with him. So, there's I would keep him around. I think Klopp will keep him around. I think him and Thiago, for me, are the two safest midfielders next season. I think you've got Stefan as well, but he's a youth player. So I'm not really going to count Stefan too much because depending who we buy, he'll be in and out a lot next season. Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott. Talk to me about Harvey Elliott because personally, in my opinion, it's going to shock people. I think he's one of our outfield players of the season so far.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think he's as bad as people give it. I don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be. I think Klopp's just playing him in the wrong position. That's all it is.
By the way, Roms, hold that. I told you Harvey Elliott would be the clear of Carvalho this season. By the way, I told you. But Harvey Elliott plays everywhere but his natural position, and has still been one of the players of the season. By the way, not very hard to do in this Liverpool team.
Exactly.
Let's not say that's a harder job to do, but it's one of those ones with Harvey where wherever he's been put, he's not been good all the time, but he's the one where I'll never say he's down in tools. He's always looking like he's trying to make things happen. Does he have limitations in terms of his creativity at times? Yes, he does. Will that come?
But he speaks about it, Monts, which I like.
Yeah.
He mentions that he wants to score more, he wants to assist more. But when he's playing that 8 role, when Klopp wants him to be a 6 and an 8 at the same time, he can't do that. But when he plays him that 10 or right wing area, you see a different player.
Yeah, I think Elliott is a good succeeder to Mo Salah on the right wing. As everyone says, we need to buy a right winger. I said we've got one already. Yeah, it's just Klopp doesn't different in the way we see it at the same time, and no one's saying we're more clued up than Klopp. No one will ever say that. But I'm saying that it's a bit silly to play Harvey Elliott left wing. He played left wing and right centre mid for most of his time. The one time he plays right wing, he scores an absolute screamer and is man of the match against Wolves. Coincidence? I think not. Even the goal he scores against Brighton from the inside right position, he almost gets another with the free ball that just kind of gets stuck under his feet a little bit when he's in on goal. He's looking more of a goal threat than Mo Salah. This is what I said against Wolves where we lost 3-0. I said drop Mo Salah for that game. I said drop him.
Yeah,
play off right? Drop Salah.
It's not in form. Mo's not in form. Mo needs to be dropped for his own good. I've been saying it for a while. Drop Mo. What Klopp needs to do with Mo is test him. Drop him, see how he comes back. Go right, Mo. I'm playing Harvey right wing for a couple of games. I'm starting Harvey right wing for a couple of games. Test him. See where Mo's head's at. Because I'm not sure if Mo's got one eye on the exit door, personally, right now. And test him. And the thing I will say with Harvey, because Harvey's a Liverpool supporter and his family are all big Reds and everything like that, he plays with passion in every game. He's one of the players I watch when I watch a game of football right now with Liverpool, thinking, well, he's definitely giving his all. And if he's giving his all, and he's 100% got my attention. And I look at Mo and I watch him Mo and like, is Mo dropping tools? Because I don't understand it right now. Because he's such a great footballer. I think play Harvey right wing. I want Harvey play right wing against Everton in Derby. I bet he scores.
Yeah, I think
does something.
I think with Mo, I think he's too busy. He's trying to compensate for everyone, trying to do too much compensation, and I think half of it is Mo's appliance. I think he's definitely being told to retain the ball and keep it ticking. That I can see tactically, but then for me, his finishing, he's getting into the positions. I don't think that's one thing that probably hasn't changed as much in the recent games. At one point, he wasn't even getting into positions, but he's missing the target far too often. I think he's almost in that mindset where his confidence isn't too high, but it comes across as the fact that he's not bothered. I wouldn't go as far as say he's not bothered. I think he's just not very good at doing the job they're asking him to do. And
it's mad, isn't it? Why are we doing it?
Huh?
Why are we doing it? Why are we asking one of our record goal scorers to do a job he shouldn't be doing?
Yeah, and I think that's affecting the few times he does get in on goal. The few times he does get in, that's affecting that. Mo and Mane have been missing one-on-one since they arrived at the club. That is nothing new. So when I see Salah missing one-on-ones that he should be scoring,
he's always done that.
That's nothing new to me. But what is new to me is him not getting a one-on-one 5 minutes later. That's what's new to me, Jamie. Do you know what I mean? And the one-on-one Salah misses against Brighton, he doesn't get another one all game. Do you know why?
No.
Because he's not getting because of the tweak.
He's not in the game. Exactly.
Not in the game, and that is his fault as well as tactically. But,
exactly.
About Salah, more about Harvey. I think Harvey's. I liked what I've seen from Harvey. He really is maturing as a player. I think would he be further down the line if he didn't break his ankle or dislocate his ankle? Absolutely. I think Harvey's right centre mid days are done. I think there might have been a right centre mid there before he got the injury last season. Because those first 5.5 games he played, he was exceptional in the right centre mid position. Maybe because the rest of the team was flourishing. I'm not going to solely put it down to him.
He kept Hendo out of the team. He kept
Henderson out of the team. And what I noticed when he did come back, even though he scored in the game, he scored in his comeback game against Cardiff, is that he's not as ruthless. He doesn't dribble. He doesn't take man on as much. He's not as ruthless. And I understand that because that was quite a distressing.
It mess you up here, won't it? You think about it. There's no doubt about it.
He'll argue he's come back stronger than ever, but I saw he is a little bit more reserved on the ball.
He sort of pulled out a little bit of things, didn't he? And stuff like that. Where before he was getting stuck in. Yeah, exactly. I think there was a tackle that went on him a few games back, and even the commentator was like, "Oh my god, his ankle!" Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's still a bit of PTSD even from the people watching him. But for me, he has something that Carvalho doesn't have. And for me, that Carvalho has traits that Harvey Elliott, I don't think will ever grasp the way Carvalho does, such as like the dribbling style, the flair. Yeah. That's more him.
But what's different is that Harvey Elliott is a men's footballer. He's a Premier League footballer. Carvalho is still too lightweight and is unable to adapt to situations in the game, whereas Harvey Elliott can ride challenges. He'll put his body in there. And for me, it's the fearless trait. I don't think Carvalho is as fearless. He's always on the floor. He's always getting knocked over. And half the time, it's not a foul because he's not strong enough to protect the ball. So it doesn't matter how much of the twinkle toes you have. Your twinkle toes can't be that good if it's not a foul and these guys are bodying you. Yeah. Can't be that good. So people keep saying he's in the basement. Why is he in the basement? He's not playing because he's not been good enough. It's that simple. The one thing I'll say Carvalho can do, though, is good. He can finish. Kick and finish.
Yeah.
Kick and finish. But the rest of his game is lacking in terms of being able to ride challenges and being ruthless. And that's what I think Harvey Elliott has. That experience of playing for the first team over and over.
He's more mature as well. He's more mature as a player. Because when you watch him, as you say, Harvey looks like a grown man on the pitch. He looks more mature when he plays. Where you're right. And they're the same age, but Carvalho looks like the youngster. It's weird.
If you never watched Liverpool before and they both played for Liverpool, you'd see which one plays you'd think, oh, he must play regularly. And you look at Carvalho going, oh, this must be his first game.
Yeah.
Must be his first game.
It's just it's and I think Harvey's more versatile as well. It does look like to me that Carvalho can only play one position.
And I'm worried about Jota and Diaz coming back because I don't want them to be rushed back into the team just because how bad we're doing.
Well, that was the thing I was going to bring up as well. So apparently, Jota, Bobby, and Van Dijk are back in training, ain't they? Apparently, Everton might come too soon for Van Dijk, but Jota and Bobby could be available for Everton on Monday. No. Now, the last time we had players coming back available, I won't put all this on Klopp because his medical team, if they tell him someone's fit and Klopp goes, can they train? Can they come back to proper training now, to get ready for matches? And they go, yeah, no problem. And Klopp puts them in training and they break down. That's on the medical team. Then they need to fire the whole medical team and get a new team in. Simple as that. So, Jota, I would take my time with him. Bring him back into the squad, bring him back into training. If he's training well, bring him into the match day squad, have him on the bench, little 10, 15-minute appearances, nothing more than that. Build up his gameplay like that. I don't want to see Jota 3 days of training, looks good, match day squad, he's on the first team sheet straight away.
90 minutes and all that.
That'd be a mistake. Bench him, match day squad, 15, 20 minutes here and there just to reintroduce him, get him back used to it and stuff like that. We don't need to throw him in there. We are where we are in the league. It ain't going to get any better. It probably ain't going to get any worse. We just are where we are. And just see out this season, But Jota will be a big plus when he comes back because I do love him as a player. He does bring us something more up front. Like a lot of people have been saying in the chat with Mo, we don't press from the front anymore because we've lost our pressers. And everyone's right. Mo played with two unselfish players in Mane and Bobby. Now he plays with more selfish players.
Yeah, do you know what?
Darwin and stuff like that. It don't help.
But like Darwin, when it was Darwin and Diaz, they both press. Diaz works hard.
But they were good together as well. They had a good link up, them two.
They did, but Liverpool was still crap.
Yeah,
it was just almost one less problem in a way because we'd still score a few more goals, kind of thing. But it still looked a bit. I still generally think the Bobby Darwin Salah is the best we've seen this season in the front three. Best we've seen.
I agree. Darwin off the left, Bobby in the middle, and Mo off the right. I think it works. That going forward, though. So we've got Cody Gakpo. I feel for Cody. I don't think it's his fault. I'm not going to get at Gakpo right now because he's coming to a shit side and been told to go right. You're a left winger by trade, and we're going to play central. We're going to play in the central number 9 role, and ask you to drop deep and do the Bobby role. I can understand it because he has got them ways of playing that he can connect with the midfield. I can get it, but why did we buy him once? Because let's go into next season when everyone's fit. I would argue that Klopp's two main left wingers are probably going to be Diaz and Jota. If they go, Diaz for number 1. Natural left winger, probably play there. If Diaz can't play a game and Jota's fit and available, you'd argue Jota plays number 2 as left wing.
I disagree. Right? I think buying Gakpo, I think Jota goes in the middle now. He's now seen as a central player.
And this is where I was going to get to as well. But then you got Darwin and Bobby, who will probably play central ahead of him. And then you got Mo on the right, who's the only right winger.
Probably a safety net for in case Bobby leaves then.
Is Bobby going to leave? But Bobby, it sounds like this is where the club's all fucked up, Mons. This is where the club, from top to bottom, it's in a mess at the moment. Nothing makes sense. Because it sounds like Bobby's going to sign a new deal. That's going to happen by the sounds of it, 2.5-year deal. I'm kind of happy about it because I love Bobby. But at the end of the day, I know we probably should move him on. How many teams in this league have got a player like Bobby that can come off the bench? Not many. He's still an integral part. Next season, Monts, you're front three. So say Klopp's had a good midfield summer, right? He's got 2 midfielders that he wants in, yeah? He's got rid of some of the baggage, got rid of some of the dead ends. We're not in Europe at all, which I think would benefit Liverpool massively next season if we're not in Europe, right? 1 game a week. That's all we have to play. We can have a smaller, tighter squad because of it. You get rid of some of the dead end, right? You bring in 2 midfielders to freshen up the midfield. You got your midfielders in. You got rid of the dead end. Who's your front three if everyone's fit? You've got
Not
6
Nunes.
to choose from.
Not
6
Nunes.
to choose from.
Not Nunes, not Gakpo. There's only 4 to choose from in my head. Salah on the right. I want to say Bobby in the middle because he's been our best attacker this season. Don't care what anyone says. Been our best attacker this season. Would have been Diaz if he stayed fit, but because Diaz got injured earlier, I'd say it's Bobby.
Yeah, Diaz has got 5 GA in 8 Premier League games.
Yeah. And I'll probably go Jota on the left. Jota, Firmino, Salah. But then for me, that scheme's not enough pace. Probably Diaz, Jota, Salah.
See, my front three next season.
Gakpo, Nunes, Elliott. The chat is kidding me.
my front three.
With Elliott on the left, by the way, not Elliott on the right. Elliott on the left.
No, you got Elliott on the right, man. You got Elliott on the right if you go play. My front three next season, if we get the right midfield, and I mean by the right midfield, Liverpool got. I'm a massive fan of Matheus Nunes. Why we didn't get him in the summer, I don't know. Whoever said no to him when he was offered to us on a plate, they literally gave him to Liverpool. His agent and club gave us Matheus Nunes on a silver platter and went, yeah, just take him. He's yours. He wants to go to you. He's yours. And someone in our club said no. Whoever that was needs to be taken outside and 10 lashes. I'm telling you.
And fire, bro.
Because Matheus Nunes in this team, you get Matheus Nunes in this midfield. I know everyone's talking about Jude Bellingham. Say that happens, yeah? I don't think it will. But say it happens, yeah? You got Jude Bellingham and Matheus Nunes in this midfield. You got a Thiago and a Henderson as well. And that's your midfield going forward. Then I would probably go, if we had that, that is our midfield. I would probably go Darwin through the middle then, because you got the midfield of Bellingham and Matheus Nunes behind him. Then I would probably go Diaz on the left and Mo on the right. It's extremely pacey front three. Diaz is your workhorse, Mane light left winger. Hopefully them midfielders introduced help out Mo to go back to Mo being of old. You know, with 2 midfield people that can actually get around the pitch and get into areas of the pitch that Mo don't need to be in to do Mo doing his old stuff. And Darwin, hopefully next season is a lot better of a player than he is now. And go forward. And then on the bench, you got your Gakpo, your Jotas, and your Bobbies. And you got 2 front threes. You literally got 2 front threes. And you got Harvey Elliott as well.
I can't believe he bought a 6th attacker and didn't get a midfielder. I still can't believe it.
It's a weird one. Like the Gakpo thing.
The Diaz injury. The Diaz injury might just be.
Well, you know, Chris Angel is on Coppice lot. Yeah, he's a medical man, only who was talking about it. It's a serious injury he's got. And there will be some concern about his recovery. But Chris was saying, though, with the way the science and the medical stuff is now, that he should come back fine. He should come back fine. But there's always going to be that worry in the back of your mind. And maybe that is why they got Gakpo in, who plays on the left. But
I don't know.
I've been saying it for a while. I got slagged off this yesterday. But I don't think Gakpo plays on the left for Liverpool long term.
I don't think he plays.
I think he plays central.
But
I said yesterday, I reckon Gakpo will be a midfielder for Liverpool, right?
Joe Linton, Gak Linton.
Yeah, that is what I've been saying, yeah. And I got slagged off by everyone in the chat, the guests. Everyone went at me. And I went,
Linton.
I can see it, Lo. This is the problem, Monts. I can actually see Gakpo dropping a little bit deeper. And I'm not on about playing the 8 role, maybe like number 10 if Liverpool change out to 4-2-3-1. I can see Gakpo.
Why do we back Elliott?
I can see Gakpo in that 10 position. I really can.
So why did we back Elliott?
Fuck knows.
And
I don't know.
Why are we offering Bobby a new contract?
I don't know. I don't know if Gakpo. I don't know if
we're
this
rubbish.
This is what I'm saying, Mons. Who bought Gakpo? Like literally, who bought him?
We're rubbish, man. We are.
Did Pep Linders buy him? Why is that number 2 buying players?
We are lame.
Why is Pep Linders buying players? Because the only one I've heard talk about Gakpo is Pep Linders. I've not really heard Klopp talk about him much. I've only ever heard Pep.
Bro, I'll be honest. I think the word we're looking for, the word that we're missing is well. Everyone says Gakpo can play left wing. No one said well. Gakpo can play as a striker. No one said well. Like, he can play there, but does that mean he can play there well? Because to me, he plays like you don't want to get dirty. Allow me. That was not that. I don't know about him. I was all seeing it like I can tell it for me. Klopp shows signs of lying down so quickly. Like I've seen in certain games where we want to come back into the game. Maybe there's 30 minutes left and we're maybe 2-1 down. Not all the time, but there'll be times where Klopp just takes off Salah. He'll take off Salah. He'll take off Trent, and he'll take off Thiago. Like you know, Klopp's just gone. Yeah, you know what? You know, have this. Just have it. I think he's doing that with some of the signings. They've gone. Yeah, the season's dead. The season. Let's just look for the future now. And it's like, what?
I think we have not this season on the edge.
Attitude, and we won 4 out of 4 games. We'd be in the top 4 with 2 fucking games to spare. With 2 games in hand. And you know what that means? To make it even worse, if you're in the top 4 with 2 games in hand, all of a sudden you're a few points off of Man City. You are technically in the title race.
Man City are not there this season.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is to squeeze one more season out of the boys from Liverpool would have arguably had us in the title race again, against a team that's never been in the title race.
I agree with you.
18 years.
I agree with you. I think the team. I think Klopp and his team are already looking at next season. I think they're looking at this. I think Klopp doesn't want to finish in Europe.
That damage limitation. It is damage limitation.
I think Klopp's looking at it and thinking, no, let's finish outside the European places because let's face it, if Klopp can get his team only having to play once a week, go out the FA Cup and League Cup early. You remember that year when we finished outside of Europe and we went out the Cups really early and Klopp just went one game a week and we got in the top 4? I can see that being the case again next season. I can see him like, let's go out of everything, get a smaller, tighter squad together, and then get these players in positions, and let's just go. But the Gakpo one is the weird one, man. I look at when everyone's fit and available. I think there's just too many in front of him to warrant a starting place. Like if I had the choice to play a number 9 at the moment, it was between Bobby and Gakpo. I'm playing Bobby. If I've got a choice to play a left winger at the moment between Diaz, Jota, and Gakpo, Gakpo's third choice. So what? You know what I mean? So what are we doing with him? Are we looking at him to play the number 10 role? Are we changing formation? Is he thinking about playing Gakpo 10, Bobby 9, Diaz left, Salah right, and then you've got Jota and Darwin to come off the bench to play in them other 2 positions and transition like that? Is he looking at that next season, like a 4-2-4 or a 4-2-3-1?
No, exactly.
Because I don't know if Gakpo's explosive enough to play wide either.
Bro, Gakpo just cutting in and crossing it into the keeper's hands. It's frustrated me so much. I don't want to see him on the pitch. I don't want to see him on the pitch.
It's so frustrating at the moment.
Don't want to see him at all, if I'm honest.
It's just so frustrating at the moment.
Another side note as well. Mo Salah. You know how I said Firmino is one of the missing pieces? Affects his game. Mane goes. Affects his game. One thing I haven't actually brought up, which has actually just hit me.
Cool.
Henderson's overlaps. Because Trent don't overlap. Henderson overlaps. Henderson, remember, people always do the Henderson plays right mid kind of joke. Henderson not being there, not just affects Trent defensively, it affects Salah going forward. I'm
Yeah.
not saying Henderson not being there. Henderson not being the better Henderson has taken a toll on Liverpool Football Club more than we give credit for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk about Bobby's sacrifice. Henderson's sacrifice was a big thing as well.
Yeah.
His overlaps. He overlaps for Salah instead of Trent. Do you know how much stuff he does that Trent should be doing? He overlaps Salah and defends for Trent.
Yeah, I know. That's why he's knackered.
Donny does both.
Knackered.
Donny's been
Why
doing
knackered?
both.
I think when he came on the other day against Wolves, he started overlapping Mo, didn't he? He was getting wide of him and trying to put crosses in. It's like, shouldn't Trent be doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying Henderson's the guy, but it's that job there. You know what I'm saying? So boy, oh boy. For me, Qatar needs to go. Needs to fuck off out of this club. Fabinho needs to go take a holiday in Serie A.
Yeah.
I think because there's still a good few years left on his contract, they might even loan him out, do one of them weird loans. It might be one of those weird loan deals that they do. It does look to get him out. Because look at Cancelo, bad egg, but it's a loan deal.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Weird.
I think Carvalho goes out on loan next season.
Carvalho needs a loan. Joe Gomez, probably the best case is a loan or sell him. I'd keep Firmino as a bench warmer. Or if he's fit enough and he continues the form he's been this season, maybe he has an argument to start. Maybe in Europe, if we're in Europe.
Bobby's been busy. Bobby's been busy, man.
Yeah, my man.
He's busy, man. He's been busy.
My man, bro. Yeah.
That is a great photo. That is a great photo.
And who's the other one? Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain can cut as well. He's cutting anyways. So I think Chamberlain should be playing right centre mid instead of KR, if I'm honest.
I've got a question for you, Mont. When Oxlade-Chamberlain's playing left wing and in the team, was he playing any worse or any better than when we bought Gakpo?
No, Chamberlain was better than Gakpo left wing, and he's a centre mid.
And
Chamberlain was our best forward. What are you talking about?
I thought when Ox played left wing when we had no left winger, I thought Ox did an all right job.
Ox was our best forward in 2023.
And then we've got Gakpo and Ox is no more. Like we hadn't seen Ox since Gakpo came in. Yeah. And I'm thinking about it. Has Ox been any worse?
Oh man. The thing is, I thought the second Gakpo comes in, I was like, okay, so Ox plays centre mid now. So now we have a centre mid. That's how my thought process was like, wait, we don't have a centre mid. They're all in. Like Keita's not fit. All the rest of them are shit.
And he hasn't touched pitch.
Gakpo's come in. So now Ox doesn't have to play left wing. Ox can play right centre mid. Problem solved. This is my thing. I was like, problem solved. That was one of the reasons I said Gakpo was I thought Gakpo is a 7 out of 10 player, but it goes to an 8/9 out of 10 because he could
releases Ox to be a midfielder.
Yeah.
And he hasn't touched pitch.
and Klopp's been crying out for this man to be fit, and then he puts him on the bench.
Yeah, Ox is fit at the moment. He's available to play.
He's fit.
Are we saying that Ox is that bad where we are in the league? He can't get in a 10th place.
He's
Liverpool
not that bad though, because when he's come on the pitch, he's been better than everyone else.
I know, and at least he has a shot.
literally, bro. If you look at Ox's traits, he can left foot, right foot. He can ping passes. I don't care what anyone says. Go look at his game. He's not as quick as he was. He's still a little bit fragile. I think that comes with game time.
Technically a good player. Technically a good player, though.
Yeah, he's technically sound. He can shoot, and he's got a good delivery. That's better than what we have right now. Maybe better than not good enough for the best Liverpool.
Tells me Klopp just don't trust him in midfield, because when he does play, Ox only plays in forward areas.
What I like about what Keita's done, even though I'm telling him Keita needs to go, but what Keita's done well, I would say, is that Keita's been he's shown some tenacity in centre mid. He's shown a bit more aggression than what we're usually accustomed to with Naby Keita. But
he's done well.
But at times, well was a stretch. But every time one thing I think of Keita's, he drives, he does want to go forward, and he's received the ball on the edge of the box loads of times, which is good.
Gets in good positions.
Yeah, he gets in good positions, but his decision making has been
His
the
shit is
worst.
awful. His shot power is 0.
Shot power, can he even connect with the ball? Shot accuracy.
Did
His
you
pass
see when he?
the final
Did you
third.
see when he did that spinning left foot volley the other day?
Oh my God, please. Bring me Chamberlain on the edge of the box in that position. You think that's just not
Chamberlain bangs a couple.
Chamberlain bangs a couple. Tested.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
I agree.
God.
I just read an article that this summer we are going for Kante from Chelsea. Now, I've heard that a lot. So Kante's going to be a free transfer in the summer, ain't he? And at this moment in time, he's not signed a contract with any other European club.
What is that?
So, but the problem, I love Kante, don't get me wrong.
He's done though, bro. He lives off
but the legs are gone. The legs are finished. Kante is as injury prone as everyone else in our midfield. It would be look, Mons. Would it shock you? Liverpool got him on a free deal. It's a Liverpool signing, an injury-prone midfielder.
We went and got Kante and Mount and didn't get any other midfielders.
I wouldn't mind Mount. I've been saying for a while now. I've been saying it for a while. Mount in our midfield, what Klopp wants to do, would probably actually work all right. You know,
he's probably seen Mount and Bellingham and gone, yeah. Let me get Mount, and then we'll see if we can get Bellingham.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we got Mount. It wouldn't shock me. But Mount in our midfield, what Klopp wants to do,
could work.
I think it could work. And he does score goals.
Yeah.
If we can get the Mount in midfield that arrives in the box, like gets on the end of things and stuff like that, then
I think he's playing as bad as he is. He feels underappreciated. He said publicly he feels underappreciated, and I think that's unfortunately though it's reflected in his game.
Yeah.
You know, but as a professional playing for a top team, you've got to wash out your game, bro. If you want to come up,
he wants stupid wages though, don't he? He's never going to get that no matter where he goes.
Those wages. You can't just give him Salah wages as soon as he comes.
He wants 300k. He ain't getting that even if he stays at Chelsea. He ain't getting that at any club.
No.
So
maybe Man United dish that anyway. Maybe Man United.
Yeah, Man United are stupid enough to give him 300k.
We easily could have just. I can't believe Sabitzer was available. We didn't even go. Oh my God, that's
it's a loan as well, wasn't it? They didn't even buy him. It's just a loan, straight loan.
That's what I don't get. Why don't we just loan someone in? That's what loans are for.
I have no idea. I don't think we'll ever know the midfield situation issue and who's at fault.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever know who's at fault for this midfield issue. It just be I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. I really don't. Yeah, like that Thuram, Luke, I think is only valued at 30 million. Is it at Nice? Is it Nice? Is that right? And Thuram, is it at Nice? I think he's valued at 30 mil, which is nothing. Very good footballer. Kone, I'm not too sure on. That's the one I'm not too sure on. But Thuram, yeah, 30 mil, I think he's at Nice. I think he'd do well. Yeah, 30 mil, man. Yeah, 30 mil for Thuram would be a play, you know. I don't know why we're not looking around them play. Sort of Kante he wants 3+1. Chelsea offered him 2+1. So a 4-year deal almost. He ain't gonna get that. Yeah, Kante is perfect for us. Ticks all the boxes. Their medical centre needs more patients. Yeah, it's madness, ain't it? It's absolute madness. Callum's been high on Kone for a year now. Who does Kone play for, MP? Who does he play for? Remember, I can't remember right now. I think Thuram plays at Nice. Where does Kone play for? Can't remember right now. Yeah, Kante is old. I think he is. I think he's 31, ain't he? I want to see Kay Gordon, Malewski get a chance. Yeah, Kay Gordon's been injured for a lot of the season, though, ain't he? Leverkusen? Gladbach. Leverkusen. Gladbach. It's one of them. It's one of them.
I would have really liked us to go for Kingsley Coman instead of like a Gakpo or whatever, you know. I really wanted to go for like a winger of that type.
We after him in the summer. Weren't there news of wheels after him in the summer, weren't we?
I was saying swap Del Mane, Coleman, innit? But I can dream. I can dream.
Amrabat would be perfect for Liverpool, people were saying. I mean, swap deal right there with Florentina, ain't there, with Fabinho. Just get it done. Florentina get Fabinho, we get Amrabat and a bit of cash. Yeah, get it done. Get it done. It's there to be done. There's players out there. Liverpool could get in. Just this midfield situation's mad. I don't know who's in charge of it. Kone is at Gladbach. Gladbach. Yeah, apparently Amrabat's going to Barcelona as well. It's a story I read as well. He was meant to go in January, but Florentine didn't want to lose him in January. But guys, we're going to have to finish up there. It's been a great show. Guys, I'm live again at 6 p.m. tonight with a call-in show. So make sure you guys are tuned in for the call-in show at 6 p.m. tonight, guys, at 6 p.m. tonight. If you guys want to call in and have your views on anything at 6 p.m. tonight, you're more than welcome to all come into the show and have your say on anything Liverpool, anything football related, any questions you want to ask about the Man United takeover by Qatar, we can chat about. Remember, guys, it's not the same Qatari company that want to take over Liverpool. It's a completely different company. In theory, Man United and Liverpool could both be owned by Qatari consortiums this time next season. Madness. Absolute madness. But yeah, I'll be live at 6 p.m, guys. So make sure you tune in for me then at 6 p.m. Monch, you got anything coming up, mate?
Probably, but I don't know at this moment. Probably.
You're still getting over the wake.
Yeah, the wake hit yesterday. The wake was a tough one yesterday. You know what I mean? It was a tough one. So, yeah, I'll think about it. If there is anything, it will be a little bit later. So, probably after like 7 o'clock or something around that. I don't know. Just subscribe to Big Suspense as well. Subscribe to James Phillips. Go and sub,
guys. Go and sub. You're over the 3K margin as well. You're 3.2 now.
3.2, yeah, over 3.2. So yeah, it's 3.23 is the next.
We're both on our way to 4K, guys. So make sure you're subbing to both channels, doing all the good stuff.
Appreciate that.
And yeah, go and show Mont some love. Right, guys. Till then, I'll be back at 6 o'clock, and Mont will be back after he's got over his wake. See you soon.